It's here, the brand new Insta360 X3, the update to the old Insta360 One X2. This is their brand new 360 camera and it's a big step up in quality over the previous version. In this video today, we're going to take you all the way from unboxing this brand new Insta360 X3 to exporting it and sharing it with your friends or uploading it to your favourite social media platform. Okay, the first thing I want to do is take you through all the features that have been updated on this brand new Insta360 X3. They've made some drastic big improvements to this 360 camera. It is brilliant. I've been using it for the last 3 or 4 weeks now, testing it out and really making sure I learn everything about this camera to tell you all about it. By the end of this video, if you do want to grab one of the new Insta360 X3s and you like what you see, make sure you purchase through the link below, because Insta360 are giving my subscribers a brand new 120cm invisible selfie stick with every purchase through the link in the description. While you're down there, consider subscribing. We've got plenty of content coming very soon on this brand new camera from Insta360. Let's take a look around the camera then and show exactly what they've improved and the updates on this new Insta360 X3. Let me just turn it on for you. So it's on and I can show you this full screen on here. 2.29 inches of a screen. That's a massive improvement over the previous model and probably the biggest screen you can get on an action camera. In fact, I think it is the biggest screen you can get on an action camera at the moment. Another thing about this, it's very, very responsive. It's got haptic feedback as well, just like you would do with your mobile device, your phone, whatever you're using on your daily driver. This has got haptic feedback and I love that. The menu is drastically improved as well. It's a lot simpler and a lot easier to use, but still familiar if you've been using Insta360 cameras in the past. Now we've got 1/2 inch sensors on this brand new Insta360 camera. That's going to drastically improve the image quality and make it better in certain situations, like low light situations for instance. We've got active HDR in video mode now as well. That is a phenomenal feature. We've still got 5.7K 30 frames per second in that 360 mode, but now we've also got 72 megapixels in photo mode as well. That's right, 360 photos, 72 megapixels. We're going to be testing that out in this video and future videos as well. So like I said, make sure you do subscribe down below. We've got a new 4K single lens mode, so if you want to, you can use this as a standard action camera. It just uses one lens and that's 4K, and of course you've got that flow state stabilization as well for action sports. So it makes it not only a brilliant 360 camera, but a fantastic action camera as well. 8K time lapse. You heard it right. 8K time lapses on this thing. That's unheard of in the action camera world. We've finally got it. We didn't ask for that. That's something I really didn't expect from this new camera, but we've got 8K time-lapse mode. That's phenomenal. The new features keep coming. We've got a brand new Me mode. Basically what it does is it uses the bottom half of both lenses. You hold it out in front of you. It records in 9:16 mode, 1080p, 60 frames per second, and it's perfect for vertical video for the likes of Instagram or TikTok. So this camera, again, not only a 360 camera, not only is it an action camera, but it's built for content creation on those social media platforms as well. So on top of all these brand new features, they've also improved the battery door. The last battery door on the camera was a little bit fiddly on the X2. This has got a brand new battery door which clips off. It's got brand new hooks on it. We'll take a closer look, but it just clips on and it's a lot more intuitive and a lot better than the previous one. Brilliant battery doors. We've got improved microphones all the way around. It's 10 meters, waterproof as well, 33 feet, still rugged, still well built, along with the AI editing suite, the app, and the desktop studio for editing your footage. There's no need to be scared about editing 360 footage anymore. It's so easy, and again, we'll cover that in this video. So all round, the brand new features, the new build quality, the improved build quality, the big screen, the 1/2 inch sensor, 8K, 72 megapixel photos. This camera really does stack up to being the best all-round 360 camera that you can buy on the market today. Let's take a look at what you get in the box when you actually receive your brand new Insta360 X3. You of course get the camera with the new lens guard as well, which is brand new, and it's newly designed because when it's on there you can still access all the ports. That was a bit of a bugbear of mine on the X2. When you had the lens guard on there, you couldn't actually get to the charging port, which is a little bit awkward. They've redesigned that so you now can get to the charging port with the lens guard on. You also get the Insta360 neoprene pouch for protecting it and carrying it around with you. You get the included USB-A to USB-C charging cable, which is good. This camera is of course still charged by USB-C. That's brilliant. You get all the instructions. You get a cleaning cloth to make sure those lenses are clean all the time. Really essential when you're using a 360 camera. And you get some stickers. No tech purchase would be complete without the stickers, so thanks for that. So that's everything you get in the box with your new camera. Let's turn it on and connect it to the app for the first time and show you a little bit about editing the footage in the app. It's so easy. So the first thing you need to do, of course, is to download the app. It's available on iOS and on Android, and then all you have to do is turn on your camera for the first time. You'll get the beep, just like so. Then when you go onto the app, bottom of the app, you'll see the camera icon with the little Wi-Fi symbol. You press that and your camera should pop up. If you've had previous cameras from Insta360, this might be on there. You just have to select a different camera, and then it'll ask you if you want to join the Wi-Fi network. Press join, and then you're connected to your camera via your mobile device. From here, we can go through the app. You've got the Explore feature where you can go through and see what everybody else has been doing with their cameras and all the different things. Then we've got Album, next one along. I've recorded a bunch of footage here, so we're going to go and look at that in just a second. In the middle, we can press the camera icon again, and that is where you can control the camera from your mobile device. You can actually press record, change the settings, all from within the app here, so that's a good feature on this app. It's really intuitive. I must say, this software is streets and streets ahead of anybody else on the market. The AI and the app capability of all the cameras from Insta360, that's where they're leading the market at the moment. And if you're getting one of these cameras, you know you're getting the best software, and AI tracking is another thing that's built into this. It's so good, and we'll touch on that as well. Next one along is Stories, and it gives you step-by-step tutorials on how to get brilliant content. They add into this all the time, and there's loads of different effects you can do with this camera. It's just endless possibilities of creativity, and like I said, it's really simple, shows you exactly how to do it within the app, and then you can record footage, put it into the app, and just create different things you want with your stories. So that's brilliant. Then we've got settings, and of course you can go in there, like do things like update the firmware and things like so. Let me just show you quickly my favourite feature inside the app, which is the Snap Wizard editing feature, which uses the phone's gyroscope to move around. So when you're actually watching back your footage, you can press record and move your phone around where you want to look, and then it records that as if you're there in the moment and exports it, and it actually takes into account the movements of your phone, and that is what you're looking at. That is your final edited footage. It's so easy. So to do this, you just press on one of your saved video files. We'll go to this one right here. Up the top, we press pause. Up the top, you'll see snap or edit. You can manually edit by adding keyframes. It's really easy as well, but the snap feature is brilliant. So it will say tap and press to hold to record your video. And then as you can see, when I'm moving my phone left and right, it's looking around the actual video, the 360 video you've recorded. So I'm gonna press record, move your phone to reframe the footage left and right like this. We're checking out the guys on the jet ski over there. I want to look behind me. We'll just turn all the way around, and that is what's behind me, and then we'll turn back and have a look at the jet ski as I walk towards them, and then we press stop, and then we can just simply export that to the phone album just like that straight away. And then when you go into your phone album, it'll be saved on there as new footage, and then the movements that you've done with your phone is actually keyframing the footage for you. It's so easy, so simple. Use the Snap Wizard if you're new to editing 360 footage. Let's take a look at the general settings within the actual camera itself. What you have to do to get your general settings is swipe down from the top of the screen, and you'll get all the settings to control the camera. At the top here, you've got the prompt sound on and off. You can turn that on and off if you want to. If you're filming in more of a discreet location, then you might not want that on. And then at the top here, you've also got the blinker. Sometimes if you're in dark situations, you don't want this LED light flashing, you can turn that on and off as well. We've got quick capture, which allows you to press record when the camera is off, and it will just start recording recording immediately. That's on all the time. That's one of my favourite features. We've got voice control and voice commands. There's various different commands you can do with this camera. You can tell it to start recording, stop recording, all from just using the voice commands on here as well. We can connect some kind of Bluetooth earphones to this to use it as a microphone. That's another option. And then there's Bluetooth remotes as well. There is sold separately on the Insta360 website that you can buy to control the camera from a distance. Next is where you control your audio settings, and you can change it from direction focus, wind reduction, or stereo. I've got it set on stereo at the moment, but if I'm going out and about in the field and recording outside, I would probably change it to wind reduction. Then we've got the brightness of the screen, and we can lock the actual screen as well by pressing that button. Then to get the screen back on, you just swipe up like that to unlock the screen. In here we've got general settings. It tells you the camera info, your USB mode. In there you've got UDisc mode, quick reader, which we've got as well. We'll be testing that in a future video. And then Android mode. You can switch on Bluetooth wake up, which is when you connect it to your phone, then it actually turns the device on. Anti-flicker is an important one depending on where you are in the world. If you have it set on auto, it generally picks up the flicker and works really well, but if you're in the UK, you want that set on 50 Hz. If you're in somewhere like the US, you want that set on 60 Hz. That stops you from getting the flicker in the lights in indoor situations. Video sharpness, I'd recommend having this on low or medium. An over sharpened image does look very action camera-y, so if you have it on medium and low, you get sort of a nicer cinematic feel to your footage. That's what I'd fully recommend you changing that to. And then if you've got an external microphone, that you can buy the microphone adapter via the USB-C here to plug into this as well. We'll touch on that. We've got another video totally on my vlogging setup with this, because this camera with the Rode Wireless Go 2 is fantastic. You can change the gain of the external mic in this menu as well. Auto sleep feature and auto power off is a couple of settings I'd recommend you changing when you first get your brand new camera. I don't like my screen to turn off or the camera to turn off unless I tell it to, so I'll just turn these two settings off. You can set timers for auto power off if you're not using your camera after like 2, 3 or 5 minutes. Those are those options there. Language, SD card, that's where you format the SD card. Once you've filled it up and you've transferred it to the computer or your app, then you can format the SD card here. We can also calibrate the gyro to make sure that the gyro is up to date. The factory reset there, if you just want to reset all your settings, then you just press a factory reset and then you've got certification at the bottom. So those are the general settings of your brand new Insta360 X3. Fairly straightforward, but very customizable within that menu. Next is video settings, and I'll show you how to change that. To get to video, I'm on photo at the moment. We just swipe across on the screen. You've got video here. You can have select 360 video at the top or single lens video. We'll talk about single lens video in just a second, but press on 360 and then video mode. And then here on the bottom, you'll see it's set already at 5.7K at 30 frames per second. That is the resolution and frame rate that we would recommend that you film on 360 footage with, because that's sort of the best quality. But you can go in here and change it to 4K, for instance, for 30 or 60, and then 5.7K, 30, 25 or 24 frames per second. If you want to change your camera manually, you want to control it manually, you can do that as well. Just swipe from the right of the screen left and you've got manual and auto mode here. You can change the color profile in the auto mode here to go vivid. You can record in log or you can record in standard. I leave mine on vivid because I just like the way it looks for 360 footage. If you want to control everything manually, press manual and then you can control your shutter speed, your ISO in here, your white balance manually, and we can change the compensation exposure on or off there as well. You can control the camera manually from this menu, as well as just setting presets. If you want to set presets, you've got the Q button on the side now instead of having it on the screen. So press the Q button like that, brings up the quick menu, which you can customize to your heart's content. So if you record in certain settings all the time here, you can customize and press the plus button for different activities: diving, skateboarding, surfing, skiing, outdoor, bike riding, all these different custom options here that you can make presets for. Whatever situation you're in the world, you can create your custom presets in here, and that is a fantastic option. So those are all the different video settings that you've got. Let's get out and about and test all the video shooting modes that you've got on this amazing new 360 camera. Okay, shooting modes, we're out and about, we're in this field here, we're testing out all the different ones, and there's loads of different options for this camera. But basically I've gone through the video modes for you. You've got active HDR in video mode now in this new camera, in the new X3 this year. Then we've got the time-lapse mode. That's a brilliant thing. You can change all the intervals and do some really good time lapses in 8K and 2.7K as well. And then we've got time shift, which is a really good effect you can use for different transitions in your videos. Bullet time now is in 4K 120. It exports in 4K, and that's something I was asking for personally in the new camera. It was only 1080p and a little bit low quality in the last Insta360 One X2, but in the new X3, 4K bullet time, and that's a really fun effect you can do as well in the camera. You've got loop recording, which would be brilliant for using this sort of as a safety cam in your car. It will just loop record over the SD card once it's full, and then you can use this sort of a security cam as well. So there's that option. Star lapse is brilliant. I love doing star lapses, and it's literally just an option in the shooting modes here. So you can get some wicked star lapses, and it just processes it all for you in the app as well. In single lens mode, it's just a little bit different. You've got the normal video mode, then we've got photo mode, then we've got loop recording in single lens, and then you've got the new Me mode, which is the new mode that you can record for Instagram or TikTok, and it just uses the bottom half of each lens if you hold it out like that, and it records in 9:16 for those social media platforms. So that is the single lens mode. Single lens mode is just if you want to use this as a normal action cam, you can have it mounted on your chest, on your head, and it uses the front or rear screens, and you can change that as well on the screen for switching between lenses for front or rear views. So that's a really good mode. Yeah, those are all the video and photo modes that you've got on this camera. There's so many different creative options for using this camera to get in some really wicked videos and content for wherever you're going to be posting it. I just love it so far. To finish the video off, let's talk about editing on the desktop, because like I said at the start with the editing in the app, like sometimes using 360 cameras, people can be put off because they're scared about the editing process. Gone are the days of complicated edits. Now, the desktop studio from Insta360 is another brilliant way of probably getting the best quality footage. If you're using this camera for more professional uses, then I'd fully recommend using the desktop studio to edit your footage. It's so intuitive. Even if you've got zero experience with editing, you can pick this up in 10-20 minutes. It's really easy. First of all, you can import the footage into the studio, so it's all there. The best thing is when you've edited a particular frame and you want to export it, you can carry on editing other bits of footage as well. It doesn't stop, it actually cues the footage to be exported, so you can carry on editing within the app as well. It's really easy to move around the screen, drag and drop the footage really around to actually manipulate where you want the camera to be looking. You can change the stitching lines, you can add Aqua Plus, you can add Color Plus. There's just so many different things, and one of the best features is their deep track option. The AI tracking is phenomenal. You can literally drag a box around your subject, click track, and let the computer and the software do its magic. It is as simple as that. And when it comes to editing the footage, Insta360 are absolutely streets ahead of anybody else in the market at the moment. That's what makes these cameras so fun for me. Using them is great, and using other cameras is great as well. But then the editing software and the editing process can be a bit laborious. With Insta360, they make that process fun and easy. So I would recommend using the desktop studio to get the best export footage. You can export in a ProRes 422 as well, and then that gets the best sort of footage and quality out of your video that you've recorded on the camera. I've taken you from unboxing the camera all the way through to editing the footage. Then you can just export it and you can upload it to wherever you want to upload it. You can put it into Final Cut and add bits of video into your final edit to export onto YouTube. Whatever you want to do with this footage, it's so much fun, and this camera is absolutely amazing. It's a big step up. Those 1/2-inch sensors, the big screen, the 4K bullet time, the 8K time lapse, everything in this camera has been improved upon, makes this just the best 360 camera out there, hands down. Okay, that's it for this video. I know it was a long one. If you've got any other questions, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe, press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. I'm going to be covering a lot about this camera in the coming weeks and months, so stay tuned. That's it for this one. I'll see you on the next one.